Hello everyone. In this short video, I want to show you the new feature, the new chatbot that MathWorks has added. It's called AI Chatbot Playground, and it has been launched more than a year, I guess now. And so it is something that is kind of like ChatGPT, but of course not as powerful. But I just wanted to show you that so you see what it can do. So for that, you need to have an account. And then once you have that, you can go to the MathWorks website under community. And then you can see that they had in the past file exchange discussion and stuff. Now we have the AI chat playground. And I tried it last night. I just wanted to see how it does. So what I asked it to do was to create a function or a script that can show the convergence of Taylor series. So, and this is the code that it made for me. So basically what I asked it was, let me run this so you can see it, was basically a window that plots the original function, whatever you enter here, and an expansion point, and then it shows the Taylor expansion of the function at the expansion point, and then it has a slider which controls the number of terms in the Taylor series that you use. So you see it came up with this basically separate input dialog, which is getting the function and the expansion point, and the default are 0 and exponential. Even if I go with that, okay, you'll see that, well, it did the exponential function in blue and then the Taylor approximation in red. And now when I move this slider, it is supposed to update the expansion for the function. And look here, when I do that, it doesn't do it and generates error. And I tried several times to get this to update that and fix it and remove that, and it couldn't do that. And it came with several things here, several suggestions to get that value from the slider and properly update the file here. And this was this portion here where it added a slider with the UI control and then added a listener, and says that the value is post set, and then it changed it to all other things, value changed, value changing. So it suggested all different fixes, and none of them fix really this. I mean, if you change it to a values changing, you're not going to get any error, but still it is not going to show any changes in this plot here. And you see that the value it put on the left side, the threshold, is wrong. It's a negative number. It shouldn't be. So I tried really hard to get it to work, and it did not. And you see here that the title will not change as well. Forget about updating the plot. Even this one, you see, it says 5 terms. If you change that, that number at least should change, that title, and it doesn't. Okay, and I could not get it to work. So my conclusion is, while this one can do some simple things, for instance here, these are some sample problems, but you can give it anything you want. I'm going to give it some problem in a second. And you see, as long as it's not very difficult and does not have a lot of graphics in it and UIs and stuff like that, it can do a decent job, but you make it a little bit harder and it is not going to be as simple. So let's say, for instance, write a code that estimates the value of pi using a Monte Carlo simulation. Okay. If you watch my MATLAB playlist, you see in one of my videos I have done it, right? So this is basically a square of 1 by 1, and then generates the points, and then see how many points fall inside the circle, right? And the size of that circle, the radius of it is 1, so the area of it is pi. So here Let's see if we give it this prompt, it can generate the code. Okay, so we'll see that. There we go. So here the number of random points to generate is about 1,000,000 points. It generates them, and that is exactly the same thing. And it checks whether how many of them are inside the circle with radius 1, and then that should give you pi over 4. So if you multiply, that should be the pi estimate, and then showing that, right? So if I just get this portion and I can copy it from here, right, and go to MATLAB and run this here, correct? It is gonna work. And look at here, that's another thing. Look, there is this plus missing here, right? So if I go back now, and you might say, well, did I miss anything? No, actually, it has the error here, right? So, I mean, that's a very simple thing to add x squared plus y squared, and it didn't do that. And if I do it myself, of course, and run, probably it is gonna give me some number. So I just call it maybe pi estimate, correct? And let's go ahead and run. And here is the command window, and you see it's 3.140. That's not bad, actually. This one is 1415, but I mean, like that's not bad for 1,000,000 points. And you add more points and run, hopefully you're gonna get something better, correct? There we go. So now it is closer to 3.1415. So it is doing it. But if I go back and not do this correction and run, and it gives me an error. So now I go back here and put this error in and say, I got the following error. Let's see if it can find the error that the mistake that it made. Okay, so that was a very, I would say, silly mistake. And now you see it found it. So, oh, it's missing an operator here, and it fixed it, okay? So it found it. Now, another thing you can see is not only you can copy the code, you can basically say insert the code, and then it will insert this code from this generative area to this run area, right? And here I can run this code, and it is going to execute it in MATLAB 2024, and it shows the result. Okay, so the good thing about this is even if I don't have MATLAB right now handy next to me, I don't have it installed on this computer, I still can have this guy generate the code for me. I insert it to the right side, I let it run, and I see the output of it. And you see that it is working, okay? And even I can look at the code issues if there is any. Right now, there is none. But if I get rid of this and run, right, let it generate the same error. There we go, it did. So now let's look at this. Okay, and you see now it is basically, let me move it here. Okay, analyzed, and it does not really, I don't see much of error here other than this one clearly, right? So this one also can indent and unindent and comment and uncomment. So these are simple things. You can download, of course, the code as a math file. You can copy it and a bunch of other things. But you see, actually, this analyze did not give me much. So if I go ahead and, I don't know, maybe add something like that, right? And look at that. Let's see if it can pick it up. Okay, it says analyzed, but it doesn't show me anything. I mean, if I go ahead and run it and it generates an error, okay, ran it, of course, invalid user operator, and I can basically message copy it and then basically go here and try to redo it. But again, you see this analysis, this analyze button, as far as I can see, it does not give you anything special. It says analyzed, but you can go back here and say, hey, now my code is this and it has the error. What is the error? And then it is gonna change it. Or now I can go back to this code and ask it to add something for me. So I say, add a plot to this, or let's do this. Modify this code you just wrote for pi estimation using Monte Carlo simulation such that it runs the estimation with different number of random values. Let's say 10,000, 100,000, right? And 1 million, and plots the estimation error versus the number of random values used. And let me add a few more. So 1 million and 10 million and maybe 100 million. Okay, so that is 10 million. This is 1 million. So 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay. And let's see if it does it. Okay, so you see now it has the number of points, and then it has the true pi, so it can calculate the error. It starts it at 0 and it explains this is pre-allocation, and then does all the simulation and everything, right? So now let's go ahead and insert the code on this side. Okay, so let's get rid of everything here, and okay, so there we go. Seems like it's inserted, and I would add some CLC clear close just so it does a better job. Run, and let's see if it gives us a plot here on the right side. Okay, so you see it says unrecognized function or variable number of point array. So clearly here, when you say this, it apparently does not have anything to go with it, because I have number of points array. Number of points array. Here it says number of point array. It should be number of points array. You see, so even simple things like typos and so on, adding a plus or stuff, this is still very weak. And here we go. Now you see the error is going down. It's really weak. And I expected much better from this website, because this is just writing MATLAB code and this is MathWorks chatbot. I expected it to do a lot better, but clearly it doesn't. So they have to work a lot better and improve this. Clearly they don't have enough of training data. It's interesting, ChatGPT can write MATLAB code much better than the MathWorks chatbot. okay, because they have a ton more data. But you can see that the good thing about it is it can generate code for you, and you can run it and analyze, not analyze it, run it and see the results, even if you don't have MATLAB installed. So hopefully this video was useful to you. I'll see you in the next video.